Welcome back, VA user. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the cost combination costing method. As I have mentioned previously that this is the costing method explicitly developed by the Vienna Advantage, and this is the costing method in which we would be able to club the material cost plus the landed cost. Okay. So I have prepared one of the example in the Excel to showcase you that how it used to work. You can see in my product cost element where we used to configure the costing methods. So you can see one of the costing method that I have configured is the cost combination. And this cost combination contains one of the material cost, that is the weighted average invoice, or the moving average invoice, or the moving average cost, or the weighted average cost. Along with that, that is the another component in which I want to add the freight. So that is the product cost element, one of the product cost element that we have prepared. Now you need to create one of the product category, and in that product category you need to select your costing level as a standard costing, and your costing method is going to be the cost combination. And once the cost combination you will select at the level of the product category, then the system will ask you which particular product cost element you want to use. You just need to select that. Thereafter, create one of the product, assign that particular product under this product category, and this is the way you would, do the initial setup. Now, once this setup has been done, thereafter, I'm just thinking that my status is going to be for the cost combination is going to be the 0 per unit cost, and my on-hand quantity is going to be 0. And thereafter, we have started up with the transaction. So on to the 1st of April, we are procuring this item 100 quantities, and this time the cost is going to be 27,000. Once the vendor sends this particular material on 4th of April, so we will receive this and will process the material receipt. Once we'll process the material receipt document, it means once we complete the material receipt document, as a result of that, the system updates the costing engine, and in this case you would be able to see your weighted average cost would be calculated first. So it is going to be 27,000, since my unit price per unit price is 27,000, and this is into the base currency and into the base unit of measurement. So it is going to be 27,000. So my cost for the weighted average would be calculated by the system as 27,000, and as a result to that, for the element type cost combination, the system calculates it as 100 quantity with 27,000. But for my freight, it is going to be 0. Then we'll generate the AP invoice. If there is any difference between the prices here, then that would again update this costing method. Let's say if it is 27,500, then the system will update it to 27,500. So that becomes the status. Once we'll process the AP invoice on 4th of April, thereafter just assume that you receive one landed cost invoice that says there is 10,000 of freight cost was involved. So and we entered this particular invoice on 5th, and once we entered this particular invoice and we processed this invoice, as a result of this, on 5th of April our status becomes 27,100, so which represents that 100 per unit is the cost for each particular item for freight, then 27,000 per unit is for the material, and if you sum up both of them, then it becomes 27,100 is the total cost for cost combination. Okay, so it is going to be 27,100 is the total cost for this particular product. Now assume that you are selling this particular item, and there is a sales order that we have received on 6th of April, and we need to sell 50,000. So we have kept our margin, and thereafter we are selling per unit price is 35,000 to the customer. We did the delivery, and once the material is delivered, so it would be delivered with 27,100, and that is the important part I just want to emphasize again. So it means system will consider both the values, and with this value the system is sending this particular material. So that is going to be the status on 5th of April is going to be this status once the delivery is out or the delivery order is processed within the VA system. You can see it is 27,500 for 50 quantities, then 27,000 for 50 quantities, and then 100 for 50 quantities. Assume that thereafter we have sent the AR invoice to the customer, and then again on 7th we are procuring this material again, but this time it is with 26,000, and as a result of this, completion of the material receipt, once we receive this material, the cost for the product becomes 26,333 for the weighted average invoice, and it is going to be 100 for this. So the overall cost for this particular product is 26,366. And if there would be any change into the per unit cost of the AP invoice, then that would be considered by the system. Now the question is, how system calculates this 26,366.66? So I just want to tell you that for 50 quantity it is 27,000. So the system is calculating in this way. It is 27,000 multiplied by 50 is one value. Thereafter the next value is 100 multiplied by 26, so it is going to be the next value. So let's take this particular value, and then the system sums up this, and the total quantity is 100, this plus remaining 50 is 150, and the cost, weighted average cost, is going to be this divided by this. So it is going to be 26,333.333 for 150 quantities. Now the freight is basically is this value. So the next is basically 100 multiplied by 50 is going to be this, and our total quantity is 150. So the system will calculate in this way, divided by 150 is going to be this, and when you sum up these two values it becomes 26,366.66. So that is how the system used to calculate the cost combination here. If you have any kind of doubt in understanding the cost combination costing method, then do let us know. We'll give you the answer if you enter the comments. In case if you're sending the mail to us, we'll give you the answers onto the mail. In case we think that your question is relevant enough to create a video, then we'll naturally create a video to give you the answer. If you find out that this particular video is fair enough to understand the cost combination costing method, then I would request you to like our video and subscribe this video. Till then, thanks a lot. Bye bye.